Welcome, my name is Jane Colvin. I'm a proud member of the New York City League of Women Voters. And tonight we're going to be looking at some of the issues that the League takes on and how it arrives at them. Positions that it advocates and lobbies for at the local, state, and national levels.
One of the issues on which we are working most diligently right now is the establishment of an independent commission to do the redistricting with the new census figures, to draw the lines for the new congressional districts and for the legislature. I've been a member of the League of Women Voters for nearly 50 years, and the first time I called on a legislator, we were asking for the appointment of an independent commission. We don't give up. Legislators aren't happy with this idea, but we're hoping this year in particular to raise public awareness so that the legislators will see that they just can't keep on doing this the same old way, where they carve their own districts and basically pick their voters rather than the voters picking them.
And when the state of New York started looking for voting machines, the League of Women Voters, without question, took the lead in New York State and said, touchscreen voting systems are not acceptable for New York State voters because they are not secure. And we were among the places that took the lead in saying, if you're going to do anything, you have to have a paper trail, the famous paper trail. And what we finally came up with in New York State was that we wanted optical scanners and ballot markers, that we decided that was the most secure voting system available. Someday, touchscreen may be wonderful, but not now. Now, New York State is the last state in the Union to get new voting machines. We had that distinction. And part of it was we learned from other states' mistakes and the problems that existed in other states. And the League was really the leader. And I really do not think I'm inaccurate in saying that we might have been voting on touchscreen machines 5 years ago if the League and a group called New Yorkers for Verified Voting had not stood tall and said, that are not acceptable. We will not accept them. I assure you we would have had them in New York City because our election commissioners loved them and wanted them. But the League really stayed firm on that, and we work with the State League, and we have a New York City Board of Election, and we lobbied the New York City Board of Election, and the New York other branches lobbied the New York State Board of Election. And there may be kinks and problems and everything else, but we have what we think is the most secure system available in the country of optical scanners and ballot marking devices.
The possibility that in my lifetime there could actually be an independent redistricting commission is very exciting. I came from a state, from Massachusetts, where this was so badly done in the last round that the Speaker of the House not only had to leave the House, but went to jail and was disbarred because the opportunity for mischief making within the legislature is so great, and they obviously don't police themselves. I wondered if there were other states that have already succeeded in this.
You know, I think there are. California has it. This is the first. This is the first year that it's
back in the courts.
Oh, it's back in the courts. They passed it in a referendum.
In a referendum,
yeah.
Led by the League of Women Voters.
Yeah, California.
And it didn't pass.
Iowa. Iowa has it too.
I think Iowa has it. Model for some of the.
And they presumably they would have done it through the legislature.
Yes,
you have to do it. The court can order it once, but it can't order a change in your law. So they can order you to do something, but I don't think they can change the law. But California actually, the governor introduced it, and the League was a big supporter.
Huge supporter.
Yeah, in California to put it on to do non-partisan redistricting.
A panel that was, anyone could apply.
Right.
I applied, my husband applied, everyone applied. Everything interesting.
I heard somebody before, when Tony spoke about how many years we've been working on redistricting, sort of sigh. We become experts. That's what we become. We work on this stuff so long we become experts, and then suddenly it passes. And this year was really an example of that. I know they talk about the dysfunctional legislature, and we're not going to question that. But in terms of the programs that the League has supported over the years, This was a fairly successful time for us. We got the absentee ballot change. We now have, if you fill out an affidavit ballot in a poll site, and they take it back to the Board of Elections and find you're not registered or enrolled as you thought you were. They used to send you, even as of the primary, they sent you a new registration form, and you had to start the process all over again. We got a law passed that said now the affidavit ballot will serve as your registration form. The envelope will serve as a registration form. We think that's a major advantage. We've been working for 15 years on the repeal of the Rockefeller drug laws. That came through in the past 2 years. So we think we surprise ourselves when something passes. When we saw the new voting machines really come in, Mary Lou and Kate and I and other people have worked on this since 2002. I really couldn't believe it. I mean, I said, what are we going to do next year?